This is my favorite part of ABA therapy, is getting to play. Sometimes it surprises me that I get paid to go play with kids. And I love that with all of my clients. Play is a big part of what we do in ABA therapy. I had a client one time, I started out in the home setting, and his play was very ritualistic. He had toys, but he would engage in the toys in a manner that was very repetitive. And it wasn't really playing, but he was still engaging with the toys. And so I started out engaging with him with these toys in the same manner in which he did. And he thought it was kind of cool. And so he started expanding, let's see if she'll mimic this. Like if I do this with this toy, will she do the same thing? And of course I did it. And then I went from there to adding some novelty to it. And I would take the toy and I would use it in a different way. And then I would pull in his special interest. He was 4 years old, and he was really fascinated with all kinds of animals. He was kind of an expert on animals. And so I would bring in imaginary animals. I didn't even have a toy Siberian tiger, and he was talking about a Siberian tiger, and I was like, oh, this is a Siberian tiger, and it's gonna come sit in this little car of yours, and we're gonna drive away. And he thought that was the coolest thing ever. So I started branching from his repetitive play to bringing in that imagination and using toys in different ways. And then I made sure when he wanted to play the same game the same way every single time, that I would branch off from that and add fun things to it, but things that were different in a way that he didn't feel like he needed to put up walls and say, okay, game over, like we're not playing anymore because you added something new and I'm scared, but in a way that he really enjoyed. And so I started there in the home until we were playing different games, imaginative games, every time I came. And then I took him out to a park and we went to playgrounds and we engaged in these games, these imaginative games on the playground. And then other kids would come and join, and I started backing myself out. And it was really interesting because at first I would back myself out and he'd run grab me. He's like, no, you're playing. Like, no, not gonna do it. I was a security blanket. And so I continued doing that and backing out a little bit more and a little bit more until the point that I could go. We can go to a playground and he would jump out of the car and say, I have so many friends today. And I'm like, yes, you have friends, it's amazing. And he would jump in and he was able to play even if he wasn't the director of that play activity. He wasn't necessarily in charge. Another peer would say, hey, I want to play this game. And he would be able to accept that and say, yeah, that sounds really fun, let's do it. And so moving from that repetitive, restrictive play to just being independent and collaborative with peers in a few short months was amazing. And I love that. I never really grew up, so I'm still a kid. And I still love to play, and so I love that part of ABA therapy.